Welcome to NET Vaper Reviews. Pod kits and starter kits are very convenient for all types of vapors. If you need a stealthy vape, if you want take it with you on a journey or whatever, sometimes you just don't want to take with you your day-to-day vaping gear, you want something stealthy. But for smokers who want to change to vaping, it is a vital piece of equipment. A new vapor would not go to an RDA, an RTA, an RBA, a sub-ohm. It will go to a starter kit or a pod kit. And it is also very important when you choose a pod kit or a starter kit, it has to have a few main ingredients to be successful. One, simplicity. Second, mobility, meaning it's light and pocket friendly, good flavor, decent battery power, and it pleases your eye, right? So today we're going to review the Caliburn G Pod kit. Now, the story behind this is as follows. If you followed my channel, you know that I go to a cigar club on weekends. We used to light a good cigar, drink good whiskey, cognac, all sorts, and we have a lovely time. Since I started vaping, everything remained the same, but instead of a cigar, I vape. I also managed to convince quite a lot of smokers to change to vaping. Some were more successful than others, but at least they're trying. And a few guys in that club told me, right, we decided to give vaping a go. What should we choose? So we went through a list of quite a lot of starter kits and pod kits on the market. So we chose the right, I think, in my opinion, the right ones for those who just started to vape. And in the coming weeks, I'll review those kits that they chose for two reasons. One, that they can watch the review, that they should know how to use it, and also that they suggested that I should put on the channel for other vapors, other smokers who come across my channel. They can watch a review on a good starter kit, a good pod kit, to give them a good chance. So it's a win-win situation. So I agreed to that, and therefore I am reviewing the Caliburn G today. Now, I would have loved to have the original Caliburn with me, but if you watched my review on the Spire Nautilus GT starter kit that I reviewed for my son-in-law, he came in one day a few weeks ago and says, could I use your Caliburn? I said, yes, when are you going to give it back? In a few days. Well, I'm still waiting. A few weeks later. Okay, so therefore I can't show it to you physically, but I can put the link above, so you can watch my review on the Caliburn. It was and still is an excellent on-the-go pod kit. But there is major differences between the Caliburn G to the Caliburn original. Now let's go through it quickly. I don't think we'll need to change the angle of the camera for that, because this is fairly simple, and hopefully we can do it all on this much more comfortable for me angle. Okay, so you get the normal warranties, manual that I doubt very much if you need it, and here is the Caliburn G. He chose, I think it's called rose brown rose, but you get them various colors. We'll go through in a minute what else is the box. We'll go through that in a minute. Now, this is exact size and height as the old Caliburn, although the width is thicker because you got here a larger battery. The old one was 520, the original one, and this is 690. Big difference when it comes to these low ohms, low wattage devices. It's the same thing, 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. You get here an LED light when you switch it on. I'll show you in a minute. Green means fully charged, down to 16. Then you get a blue one, down to 30. Then you get a red one telling you charge. If it starts flashing 10 times, you know it's about to conk it, right? So you charge it before it comes to that stage. You've got a USB-C charge, it's fast charging, and the pod, as the old Caliburn, it's like clips in. If you notice, there is a little hole here. Now this is a type of airflow adjustment that this has got and the original didn't. And the way it works is quite simple. You've got over here the intake of the air. So if you align this with the hole on the battery itself, you'll get a more of a looser mouth to lung. This is not direct to lung, not a restricted direct to lung. It is a mouth to lung on either configuration. But this is a bit more airy. If you change this around, so now it is blocked. There's no hole here. It's a bit more of a tighter mouth to lung, and we'll test it in a minute. I tested it already. It's a perfect mouth to lung draw. Now, when you first get it, you would you'll see this blue sort of tape to keep the contact from firing. So remember to remove it, and don't think that's not working. Remove this first, otherwise there's no contact between the coil and the contacts inside. To fill up your tank is very simple. You just push it forward and it just clips off. This is another nice touch. You've got a membrane to keep your juice in place. This hole here is for the air to escape, so it wouldn't the liquid wouldn't come back through the same hole you're trying to get it into. And in here is where the coil is. So never put in liquid in the central hole. Okay, now let's have a look at the coil. The coil is a plug and play. You can see is a flat edge to this coil. You just align it with a flat edge on the base of the pod and just push in. That's it. This is a 0.8 mesh coil. I've got Uwell Crown 4 tank. I love the mesh coils, the delicious flavors, and this is no different. This is a top coil. The flavor you get from this is miles better than the old Caliburn. I tested it already. Yep, miles better. The reason for it, this is a proper, and look at the size of this coil for a pod kit with huge wicking holes. So you just plug it in, align it, and just put in the juice. Now, the juice he's chosen, a few guys chose naturally extracted tobacco. This guy didn't want naturally extracted tobacco. Everyone with their own taste preference. Whatever makes it work is good. Doesn't matter the difference what they put in. The main thing it's good quality liquid, bought in a reliable and trustworthy source. Now this liquid he got from a company called 88 Vape. Now I heard about them. They've got a huge amount of liquids and very, very cheap indeed. For 50 mil, £5. £5 for 50 mil. So he chose this one, and he wanted it to be 14 milligrams of nicotine. So I put in 9.7 milligrams of 72 milligrams nicotine to make this a 14. You can't put in nic shots because you'll end up diluting the flavor, and you're going to need too many nic shots to make it a 14, a 50 mil. Therefore, you only use 72 milligram, but that maybe is another review. Few people asked me about this sort of subject, but so let's fill up this is watermelon, strawberry watermelon kiwi, and it's 75 VG, so it's quite thick on the VG, but this coil would have no problem dealing with it. No problem at all. Okay, so this is done. You just put the cap and this coil is ready to vape. Simple as that. Put in your juice, that's it. Place it in the, now let's have a look to see how the airflow works. So I'm now aligning the airflow on the bottom and the hole here. We'll switch this on 5 times on. You can see a flashing green light, and let's give this a vape. Quite good flavor. I think there is a bit of a coolant in it as well. Yeah, quite nice flavor. Strawberry, watermelon, kiwi. Very fruity, a bit of a coolant in it as well. So let's talk now about the draw. So this is aligned with the hole. So this should be a bit of a looser mouth to long. It's still a proper mouth to long. I will reverse it now. To change it, you just simply twist it round. So the air in the bottom, the air intake is facing now a sealed side. Now let's see if it makes a difference. Small difference. It just gives a bit more tightness. This is a proper mouth to long, mimicking a cigarette draw. Yes, it does. And it's quite a decent amount of vapor. Okay, this is 75 VG. Now, this has got automatic draw, meaning I don't have to press nothing. But there is a cutoff time on this when you do not use the fire button. It's trying to, I've seen it in other kits on the Inikin Skepta that I will review as well as another guy who chose that. I think this review will be before the Inikin or after the Inikin, one of the two, I'm not sure yet. But the same system. It's trying to mimic a cigarette. When you smoke a cigarette, you don't inhale, you don't take a draw that takes forever. 2-3 seconds and it cuts out. Listen. Cut out. But when I press the fire button, I could go 14 milligrams of nicotine. It's it's quite a bit more than what I'm normally used to on the mouse to long. Normally mouse to long by me is a 9. But the flavor that's coming out from these coils are superb. In my opinion, better than the original Caliburn. So Uwell managed to upgrade a winning formula that they had with the original Caliburn, no doubt about it. And the main reason for it is this coil. The fact, first of all, 2 things. First, the fact that you don't have to throw out the pod. Just a waste. And second, that this coil is a much better quality coil than the original fixed-in coil, for sure. The flavor is superb on this. For this type of device, superb. Very nice indeed. The mouthpiece is a bit thicker and rounder than the original. That can be, might be a bit of a problem to some vapors, but for a new, it's quite strong. But for a new vapor, it doesn't know any different. It'll get used to this very quickly indeed, and it'll find it very comfortable. Yeah, I'm finding it comfortable. All in all, this is a top starter kit, a pod kit for anyone who's thinking to stop smoking and start vaping. This could be ideal. The liquid that you can put in, you can choose your own liquids from naturally extracted to a million different flavors. You'll get good quality from this coil on any liquid, including naturally extracted tobacco. You can see the level of your juice through this window. As I said, you can change the airflow if you want a bit tighter. Not much, but a bit tighter. But it is a perfect mouth to long draw on either. You've got a fast charging. one suggestion I do: when you put it in your pocket, do not leave it on, because it is instant fire. Instant. And if you leave it in the pocket, although it's got a cutoff, after 10 seconds it'll cut off, but you're gonna burn your coil eventually. So always switch it off, unless you know that your pocket is nothing gonna press it. So always keep the button facing the outer side of your pocket, so it won't get pressed against your body. What else could I tell you about it? It's a 2 mil liquid capacity. I'll put the whole specifications below. And bear in mind, I'm using now 75% VG, and I put in a 9.7 milligram of VG based nicotine. So they made this most probably into a 80% VG, and it is wicking no problem at all. The secret was with the large wicking holes in the coil. So it's absorbing the liquid, no problem. So this is a very recommended kit for anyone who wants to stop smoking. Ideal. I mean, it's light, small, very comfortable in your hand, perfect draw, very good flavor, decent battery power. What else could you ask for a device to help you stop smoking? And it's good for also vapors who need something on the go, out and about. Perfect solution. Now let's look what else is in the box. Just a quick rundown of what you got here. Let's have a look. USB cable, I'm sure. I've got so many another coil, a 0. If I can see this writing, that would be great. Yeah, it's a 0.8, another 0.8, so they give you a spare coil. And they give you, how will I get this out? I'm not sure. It's dug in. I don't want to tear it before he gets it. Anyway, I don't want to tear it before he gets it. It's not nice to give him something that is, but you can see it's a USB cable. It's a USB-C cable. I don't want to take it out. I don't want to tear the box before he gets it. I'm sure he'll watch this review and say I didn't mind, but he paid for it. It's his. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, so that's what you get basically. To finish this review, top pod, and if my question was, can Uwell improve on the original Caliburn? The answer is absolutely yes. The airflow adjusts, okay, it makes it a bit tighter, but that's a bit of a nice touch. The coil is the main attraction on this pod. It's a delicious coil, delicious flavor. Should last you for a while. Mesh coils do last you for a while. Everything else the same except for the thickness, as I said. USB-C, perfect size as the old Caliburn, very comfortable mouthpiece. Automatic with draw and fire button if you don't want the cutout. All in all, very recommended kit for new vapors and for all vapors if they're looking for a out and about, small, stealthy, good flavor kit with a decent power. You can't get the direct to long no matter how you try it. They categorize and they're like a restricted direct to long, but to be honest, I'll try it for you. Very restrictive, very difficult, indeed uncomfortable. This is a mouse to long device for all intents and purposes. Okay, I hope it was useful, and I wish the guy I'm going to give it to, I don't want to mention his name on the camera, on the video, but he knows what I'm talking about. I wish you all the success to manage to quit smoking. With time, you will realize that vaping is a much more pleasant, healthier, and smell-free way of nicotine delivery. And I wish him all the luck and all the success that he should successfully quit smoking. Until the next review, take care, enjoy your vape, bye-bye for now.